ABC 7 business commentator Richard Stern is joining us now. And Richard, the inevitable has happened.
Yeah, we've had a string of up days.
We have.
No more.
No more. Well, you know, I can't help but notice, Scott, that the entire time you were on vacation, the market was up every single day. So I'm getting a group together. We're going to help pay for your next vacation because if it works for you, it certainly works for us. 9 consecutive up days, 7 consecutive records for the Dow Jones Industrial Average, gains of more than 800 points during that time, more than 4.5% for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Folks, it just doesn't get any better than that. But we dusted off the down arrows, and here's how we look today. And by the way, it was not terrible. There you see a loss of 78 points, just over 0.4%. The Dow closed at 18,517.23 on light volume of 694 million shares. The NASDAQ for the day, a down arrow as well, down just 0.3%, 16 points, closing at 5,073.90. Also on light volume of 1,384 million shares. The S&P for the day down as well. Right smack in the middle, down just over 0.3%, not quite 8 points at 2,165.17. Well, things are going very well for General Motors these days, and the reason is because they're selling lots of trucks and lots of SUVs, which are much more profitable than regular passenger cars. GM today said its earnings for the quarter more than doubled the same quarter of a year ago. Their revenues were up to $42 billion, and as I say, profits all over the company were great, but particularly in Europe, where the company turned in a profitable second quarter for the first time since 2011. And on that news, shares of GM were up by 1.8% in a down market. I think that's a pretty darn good performance.
Certainly is. You also have some news on eBay today, Richard.
And speaking of good performances, shares of eBay were up by more than 11% after the company came out with much better than expected earnings.
Okay, Richard, thank you so much for the update.
You're welcome.